Mbedzi, aged 41, who was reportedly abducted by the state security agents as of yesterday, and his whereabouts were unknown. Zimbabweans to protest this over social media spaces. Well, his whereabouts are seemingly surfacing, and guess what? Now those who abducted him, definitely they belong to the state. The state, seeing the embarrassment of abduction on social media, has decided to charge Mbekimpilo Mbedzi, and he was charged by the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa, according to court papers that have surfaced. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So a quick update regarding Mbekimpilo Mbedzi, aged 41, a brave Zimbabweans who called out Zimbabweans to protest on the 31st of July, that is 2026. In spite of my reservations on this protest, in terms of planning, not execution, because Zimbabweans should have protested as in yesterday, because really the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa is unsustainable. So Mbekimpilo Mbedzi, aged 41, who was arrested yesterday, is now facing charges of inciting an unlawful gathering after he posting a recorded video on Facebook mobilizing Zimbabweans to protest against the recently signed constitutional amendment bill number 3. I wonder, this is bizarre. I know that if you go to ask for a police clearance for an event that is about to happen within a period of 1 month, the police will tell you, no, come back when it's 1 week for that event to be carried out. We cannot process it before actually 1 week period. Then this person is starting to mobilize, because you cannot mobilize within a week. The reason why police would tell you that come when your event is about a week to be carried out, it is because they know, one, they would have frustrated your mobilization strategy. No one can mobilize, within a week, and except maybe big political parties. But it is also difficult to prepare and mobilize. Remember, 1 week you will be starting the process of applying for the paper to grant you authority to proceed with the marches, and sometimes when the event is about to be carried out within a day, maybe after preparations, intensive and extensive preparations, they will actually tell you that we do not have the main power to cover the event, because CIO organized or ZANU-PF organized another event in the same area, so they don't have the main power to actually assist you to carry out the gathering. So it's absurd to say Mbekimpilo Mbedzi conducted it was mobilizing for an unlawful gathering. Remember, there is still plenty time for the men to approach the Zimbabwe Republic Police and seek actually authorization. So in the meantime, it is okay to be mobilizing, but they create the laws to be in such a manner to frustrate effective mobilization. So it says for an unlawful gathering, after there is no gathering which has been undertaken, how does it become an unlawful gathering? So the police are now prophets. If you are suspected that you are going to conduct because they are suspecting 31st of July is still some weeks away, it can still be regularized But mobilization, the law does not prohibit anyone from mobilizing before actually seeking authorization. The law does not say you mobilize after being granted authorization. And there is absolutely nothing, I must emphasize, there is nothing unlawful with calling Zimbabweans or mobilizing Zimbabweans to protest on the 31st of July. That should be put up front. This is a demonstration of what we have always said, especially about Mnangagwa. He fears the people. He fears mobilization of Zimbabweans. He understands that Zimbabweans may overwhelm him, especially if all of them decides to beat their fears and they participate on this protest and they demand that Mnangagwa be removed and make that a condition for them to get out of the streets. Definitely there is no regime that is bigger or better than the people of Zimbabwe. So this goes also to show how effective these demonstrations are actually important to be carried out. Already the regime is panicking, and what they are doing by going after him, arresting him, and portraying him as a criminal, they are trying to frustrate Zimbabweans who wanted to participate in this process. This is part of a strategy by Emmerson Mnangagwa to frustrate Zimbabweans not to participate in this protest. I've told you that Mnangagwa operates through fear. He's afraid of Zimbabwe. Equally so, he inflicts his fear upon the people of Zimbabwe so that they do not conduct these lawful exercises. So there is nothing wrong about Mbekimpilo Mbedzi really making this post. And they say it's unlawful after posting a self-recorded video on his Facebook mobilizing Zimbabweans to protest against the recently signed Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. Yes, the question should be how many Mbekimpilo Mbedzi are there outside? I think people should fill up these social media spaces with the call for protest on the 31st of July. It's your democratic right to participate on the protest that has been scheduled for the 31st of July. Zimbabweans, arise in your numbers and make sure that you participate in these processes. And the ultimate goal is to stop the law that has been signed by Emmerson Mnangagwa. And the ultimate goal is to ensure that Zimbabweans gets to be free from the regime and the dynasty of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So according to court documents, Mbedzi posted the video on 10 July 2026 in which he was seen holding a placard bearing the message No to 2030 while encouraging members of the public to participate in a demonstration scheduled for 31 July 26. Mbedzi, who is associated with the NDWG led by opposition politician Job Sikala, was reportedly taken to an unknown location following his arrest. The state alleges that Mbedzi failed to notify the relevant regulatory authority of the planned gathering as required under the Maintenance of Peace and Order Act. MOPA police reportedly recovered a Samsung Galaxy A04E cell phone, which they believe was used to upload the video. He is being charged with inciting an unlawful gathering in terms of Section 187 of the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act, read together with Section 7.1a and 7.5 of the Maintenance of Peace and Order Act. Mbedzi has since appeared before the Beitbridge Magistrate Court, and the matter remains before the court. I think I have explained this, that this is absurdity. You are talking about the events on the 31st of July, and I know because I've done these clearances. If you go before time, maybe a month before, these charlatans masquerading as the Zimbabwe Republic police, they will actually frustrate. They will tell you, no, come. When your event has a week to happen, and they don't want you to mobilize people to protest, and this is meant to frustrate effective protest in Zimbabwe. Even though, according to the Zimbabwe Bill of Rights, every Zimbabwean has a right to protest. But this ZANU-PF regime will try by all means to make it a point that this rights by Zimbabweans is frustrated. They will frustrate you in terms of applying for clearance. The law says you are supposed to tell them. But even if you tell them, they will demand that you have a written document to substantiate that they told you. Otherwise, if it's your words against them that you have told them, it may be difficult for you to prove that in a court of law. So these laws of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, draconian laws, are designed to such a manner with the ultimate goal is to frustrate the people of Zimbabwe, not to participate in the protest in Zimbabwe. That is the ultimate goal, and to make the protest in Zimbabwe ineffective. That's why I've said, in order for Zimbabweans to conduct effective protest, they don't have to actually tell this ZANU-PF Republic police that they are protesting. Mobilize secretly, privately, and actually, because even if you tell them, these people, they will plan and plot for you and plot for your arrest and frustrate you, and they can even what they usually do, they can even stop your event. So what is better? What is better is for Zimbabweans. Let's look at the protest that ushered in Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. What happened? They were not planned protest. People went to the streets. The army also went to the streets. It was unplanned. It was, if we use their terms, and if we use govern Zimbabwe, it was the so-called unlawful protest, but it brought Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa into power. And I can reiterate that if you want to effectively remove Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, you don't need to organize cleared protest. Just protest on the 31st of July. You should approach the police, because if you approach the police, they automatically view you as the convener or the organizer of this protest, and you may be the main target when the protest starts. So the best is for ungoverned protest to actually take place on the 31st of July. Are they unlawful? According to the Constitution, they are not unlawful. They are lawful protest. Why do I say so? They are lawful protest because we have a Bill of Rights in Zimbabwe, which actually does not hinder freedom to actually express yourself. It doesn't hinder the freedom of expression. Of course, they will tell you that your freedom of expression should not affect another person. How does it affect another person except actually affecting the intended authorities, the intended government? And the Constitution makes it clear that Zimbabweans have a right to petition their government. Mnangagwa created an unconstitutional law, the Constitution of 2013, which I believe is what everybody wants to defend on the 31st of July. It is clear in terms of protest. Every citizen has a right to protest. You can only inform the police, but because of the conflicted nature of the Zimbabwe Republic Police, how do you actually approach an institution that is weaponized by a single political entity in Zimbabwe, that political entity which is actually caging Zimbabweans. So the most effective, in my view, demonstration, and I will keep on maintaining as I cover this. This is not to say I'm mobilizing Zimbabweans. I'm saying if you want this protest, we can still correct it now. Nobody should submit his name to the Zimbabwe Republic Police so that that person could be targeted. Mobilize secretly in all the towns, in all the villages, in every city in Zimbabwe on the 31st and come out in numbers. You're getting this, and barricade the roads, stop the country from running as normally, and demand Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa to actually vacate political office and demand the Constitution of 2013 to be reinstated and demand this CAP 3 nonsense to be cancelled. If that's the approach, it would be very, very effective. The other approach, I can attest to you, it is the repetition of an old song which has become tired for the people to listen to. And I can attest to you the chances of success, if that's the avenue to be taken by the organizers of this protest, then it would not deliver the envisaged change. Rather, it will leave Zimbabweans demoralized. That is exactly what Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is fighting for and pursuing. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancuba Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you.